Come on now. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Bucco's Locker. Saturday afternoon edition. Subscribe, like, comment, share on all the new videos. Don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify you on all new videos that's posted on this channel. Shout out to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits. I appreciate you joining. Hopefully everybody enjoying this Saturday. Having a good time, staying safe with your fam, watching some college football. I got my Saturdays and my Sundays back. Yes, sir. I love my Saturdays. I don't like to be bothered on Saturdays. I get to watch football, waiting for the Gators and Texas A&M game to come on. Florida State getting beat by Memphis. Man, hold up. That's crazy, man. I don't know what's going on with Florida State, man. Boston College and Missouri. I'm an SEC guy. Boston College giving Missouri some problems, but Missouri kind of take control of the game. NC State struggling with Louisiana Tech. LSU, South Carolina. That's a weird game because LSU started to make a comeback. I thought South Carolina was going to take that game, total control of that game. LSU just scored. Alabama and Wisconsin started out a little scrappy. It was 3-0 Wisconsin, then Alabama just took over the game. Oklahoma State winning. You know what I'm saying? You got Tulane and Oklahoma coming up. I think that's going to be a sleeper game right there. Tulane, don't sleep on Tulane, man. Tulane, nice. I live in New Orleans, so Tulane, nice. They scrappy. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what else. But anyway, I just wanted, touch base with y'all today. You know what I'm saying? I know there's a lot of conversation going on coming tomorrow amongst the Bucs community and everything like that. But as you can see, my hashtag today is prove it. Right? Enough of the talking amongst the fans and what we believe the Bucs should be, and blah blah blah. It's time to prove it. No more. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I even dive in, because I was about to dive in, nigga. Let me give some shout outs real quick. I gotta stop doing that. Robert Jr. 2005, Styles, Sal, 319. What's up, Steven, Brent, Jerron B, Mr. Kennedy. Where you been at? Fire the Cannons, Go Bucks, JR Dot. Yeah, so the usuals in here. It's early. We'll catch y'all on early Saturdays. I'm gonna start doing my videos on Saturdays because I usually do my preview videos on Friday, but I think Saturdays will be better because everybody out and about, whether you're watching football or you're outside doing some yard work, working on your vehicles or anything like that. You'll get the notifications and you'll see what's going on. But yeah, so I know there's a lot of conversation going on, and everybody wanna believe what they want to believe, and that's cool. But this conversation today is either you do it or you don't. Prove it. Enough of the yip yapping and the Bucs really like that. We'll do it tomorrow. I don't want to hear all this woulda, coulda, shoulda like last year. It's time to make the next jump. Tick 757. What's up, man? What part of 757 you at, man? What's that? Portsmouth, Norfolk, Deep Creek, Chesapeake, Virginia Beach, Hampton, Newport News. Where you at? Now, what side? Now, if you in Chesapeake, what side of Chesapeake you on? You on the Virginia Beach side of Chesapeake, or you on the Portsmouth side of Chesapeake, Deep Creek side? But yeah, one time, uptown Newport News. Okay, how far uptown? How far uptown you at, man? Because I used to roll out there, man. I used to, I used to get it in. I used to get it in stuff. About seven cities. I used to get it in up there. Now, you know what I'm talking about? Was it like you? Are you past Jefferson? Oyster Point? Are you up there? Are you at Oyster Point, man? Okay. I got you. Oyster Point. I know where that's at. I used to hate going through that tunnel. I used to go through 664. I got tired of going through 64. I used to go the other way, 664. You know what I'm talking about? I used to be downtown Newport News, or more towards the low numbers, if you want to call it that. The 20s, the 40s. In the hood of Newport News. Used to run the streets over there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So enough of the woulda, coulda, shouldas. Like what we got to see as Bucs fans. What we got to see as Bucs fans, it's time to take it to the next level. Styles, what's up, man? It's time to take it to the next level, because the way we're talking, well, I'm not talking, but the way we're talking, we need to see this team reflect what we're saying. We saying this, but the team is doing this. Now, the expectations last year was kind of like nobody really knew. It was unknown, right? Now the expectations, the bar has been risen. Okay, we already know we already know what we know about this team as far as the receivers, the quarterback, the coach, certain players. Like, it's time to put up a shut up. It's time to put up a shut up. Enough of the chitty chatty patties back and forth about the Bucs this and the Bucs that. But it's time for them to, on the field, it's time for them to do what they need to do. Because if you want to be taken serious, they have to win the game. Now, if they put up a good showing, it's no moral victories in these type of games now. Because when I listen to us as a fan base, the consensus saying, oh, the Bucs is really like that, 13-4, 12. Well, if that's the case, you got to win this game. I'm not saying it's a must win, but you got to win, if that makes sense. If you want to be taken serious, you got to win these type of games. I don't want to hear no 27-24 loss and, the Bucs would have did this, because that's over with now. But just because, and the reason why I say that, because the majority of the fan base, the feel that I'm getting is the expectations is higher. So with that being said, we're no longer sleeping. This is no more they sleep on the Bucs. No. We're not gonna play that card. They know what we're doing down in Tampa. But the question is, do Tampa understand that these are the type of games that people want to see the team win? I'm gonna repeat this again. I don't want to hear no more victories. Win the game by all means necessary. I'm looking at this game and I'm looking at the pros and cons. It's only week 2, but don't you kind of got an idea, like, man, if the Bucs want to be taken serious, you got to win this game. You got to find a way to win. Injuries happen. Remember, I told y'all this. Injuries apply to every team in the NFL, and it sucks. But if you have a good team, you will find a way to win the game. Now, I'm not even going to say no excuses, because, hey, it's 53 men. This is why I was telling y'all about the 53-man roster. Bucs got a top 10 roster. Okay, if they do, like some of you think the Bucs got, well, then they should be able to overcome these injuries and win the game, right? Top 10 roster, there are no excuses. I don't want to hear no crying. I didn't ask for this. See, I didn't come out and start beating my chest about the Bucs. I didn't do that. I'm waiting until week 8, week 9, week 10. But this conversation is more in particular to the Bucs fans that keep banging the desk, banging the chair, banging the wall, beating their chest, talking about the Bucs really like that. Okay, cool. I'm with you. I understand where your mindset at. But remember, it's only week 2. So I'm gonna give you 2 sides of this story here for the Bucs Lions preview. See, there's the reality side of it, and then there's the fan side of it. And then the reason why I'm speaking on the fan side of it, because a lot of Bucs fans are thinking in the back of their head, we're gonna win the game, which is fine. I'm with you. I want to see the Bucs win. But remember, it's week 2. But the fandom mindset will say, the Bucs gonna win the game. Well, we almost beat them last year twice, which is not really true. But I'm going to have the mindset. I'm going to give you the mindset of, optimistic and, we really like that. Top 5, top 10 roster. Top 5 GM, blah, 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 blah. Whatever, right? Baker Mayfield MVP, blah, 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 right? If that's the case, they better win the game. For those of you that are screaming that, they better win this game. No excuses, right? They better win the game because the way you are presenting the Bucs in week 2, you better win the game. The Bucs better win the game according to how you think the Bucs are right now in week 2. What you see right now is not what you're going to see in week 10. I keep trying to tell y'all this. But if you have the mindset of, we taking it to the next level, then looking at this game, the Bucs should be able to win on the road in a tough environment because the Bucs have a top 10 roster, top 5 GM, top 10 quarterback, all these things that the Bucs got based on straight up fandom mindset. Then the running game is good, and we're going to get into these details about the running game too. Then there should be no excuses, right? There should be no excuses on why the Bucs can't win this game. We got the advantages everywhere except for probably O-line, right? According to mindset of a straight up Bucs fan, biased as hell, not thinking about football because we really like that. Forget all the breakdowns and the advantages and the scheme and all that. The Bucs just gonna win because I feel that the Bucs are gonna win. And that's the right mindset to have, but is it true? Remember now, you got probability versus possibility. Is it possible for the Bucs to win? Of course. No, anything's possible. But what is the probability with all the variables that's lined up in this game? Because if you're not thinking about the football perspective of this game, it's only week 2. I'm going to keep saying this. It's only week 2, but as a Bucs fan, how much pressure do you want to put on the Bucs to only be possibly disappointed? And I say possibly with an asterisk. You could be possibly disappointed in this game if it don't turn out the way you want it to turn out. The question is, are you going to be mad if it don't come out the way you want it to come out? Then on the reality side of it, reality means what is right in front of you. What do you know about this team that you know is a fact? Look, every season is different. We understand that. Most of us do. There is no season the same. But there is a reality about this team. There is the knowns and the unknowns and the question marks about this team going into this game. I love using that part right there before. I love using going into the game. So that way it gives you the perspective of going into the game. This is what it is. Bucs coming off a dominant performance against the Commanders. Congratulations. The Lions coming off of a tough game against an underrated Rams team. Once they healthy, the Rams are going to be a problem. Right? So both teams are going into the game with a dub. So that's a fact. That's a reality. Regardless of how you look at those Commanders and the Rams, both teams are 1-0. Okay. But there's also a reality of the situation. Both teams are banged up. The Bucs are more banged up than the Lions. I know Penei Sewell didn't really practice most of the week, but looks like he's gonna tough it out and play because this is a big game. He's not like when I say he's not like hurt to the point where he can't play, right? So he could probably tough it out. Taylor Decker, the other tackle, he's there. The interior of the Detroit O-line is pretty good. So they're fairly healthy for the most part. I know Kerry Joseph might be a little banged up, but I think he's going to play too. It's not to the point where they can't play. If it was a weak game, they probably would not play. But being that this the type of game that they got to play in because they want to win. Look, Detroit know that the Bucs can give them problems. They know that. Dan Campbell know that. But on the flip side, the other reality of it is the Bucs are banged up. Josh Hayes, Bryce Hall, Winfield Jr. out, Classic Clancy out, Winfield Jr. is out. Luke Kadecki, he's out, concussion. Keenan Isaac been brought up from the practice squad. Christian Isaac going to probably play safety with Jordan Whitehead. Tyke Smith, Agent Smith is going to do his role. Jamel Dean is going to play solid. Jamel Dean is not a terrible cornerback. He's not elite. He's solid. Okay. But the reality of the situation is the Bucs is banged up in the wrong positions, especially going against a team like this. If the Bucs was going against the Broncos or the Raiders or the Giants or the Panthers, it wouldn't be such a big deal. But the fact that they're going against a tier 1 team or upper tier 2 team, that's a problem because these are the games that you want to be healthy. Look, I would love to see the Bucs, Lions both healthy, equal health across the board. But unfortunately, we're not going to see that. We're not going to see a healthy Bucs team versus a healthy Lions team, which sucks. JR, that was a mom for Christ. Flash Gordon. I'm just giving y'all the reality. I'm not giving you the fandom part of the situation where I'm going to ignore all the variables that matter. Todd Bowles is 18-17 as a head coach. That's a fact. Todd Bowles has his moments where he struggles in games like this, going against competent teams. We already know how this works. We've seen the Bucs for the last 35 games, and you look at the competent teams since Todd Bowles has been the head coach. That's been his struggle. That's been his MO. He's struggled in games against competent teams, and as a defensive coordinator slash head coach slash defensive coordinator, especially teams with a competent offense with a competent OC. The facts are there. I'm just giving you the reality of the situation going into the game. There's no way around it. It's irrefutable that against teams that are competent or better, we struggle. So tomorrow is our first test of the season early. And you know what's so crazy about this game, or what's so good about this game is we get the gauge early. All through the offseason, there was a lot of talk, taking to the next step, the draft class. Well, here we go. Early in the season, because next week, after this game, it's the Broncos, and then we in Murder's Row. We in Hell's Kitchen for the next 7 weeks. So for the next 7 weeks after the Broncos, We're in Hell's Kitchen. Okay? It's about to get real crunk. There is no excuse about what's about to happen these next several weeks. And these injuries happening at the wrong time. Now, as far as the wrong time, I mean, like, these are the games that you want your guys to be healthy. Now, granted, get the injury bug out the way early in the season. JKTB813. Okay? Get the injuries out the way early, which means in the middle part of the schedule, we will be healthy and ready to roll, right? But let's get back to this game. We're going to break this game down. We're going to look at the pros and cons, the advantages, the disadvantages. We're going to start with the coach right away. Let's get to the coaching. The coaching matters. You can have the talent. You can have all the talent in the world. But if you don't have the right coach, you're gonna be bad, or you're gonna be swimming in mediocrity. You can have talents in a lot of positions, but if you don't have the right coach to put the right scheme in, the right people in the positions, the OC, the DC, the special teams coach, the D-line coach, the O-line, if you don't have that guy to lead the team and give them the best chance to win the game, you are already down 1-0. Florida State about to lose, folks. Okay? So, who has the advantage in the coaching department? The last 2 seasons, Todd Bowles is 18-17. And Dan Campbell is, if I'm not mistaken, 9-8, 12-5, 22-17. So just based on the last 2 years, not counting this season yet because it's not over, but just counting the last 2 seasons going into this game, Dan Campbell has been the better coach. Because people don't understand the job of a head coach. It's to put the team in the best position to win games. Tony Lee, what's up? Damian. The Lions have the advantage at head coach as of right now. And the reason why is Dan Campbell has put together a pretty decent coaching staff. Todd Bowles is not a terrible head coach for the Bucs. He's average at best as of right now. 1 game over 100. Average at best. That's what the record is. Detroit went from 9-8 to 12-5. Carl McDuffie, what's up? Rashad West, what's up, man? But I'm just saying, this is what it is. Dan Campbell has an offensive background. Todd Bowles is defensive coach. In today's NFL, offense gonna always pretty much, and especially at the beginning of the season, offense gonna always be the focal point. Now, late in the season, defense got to show up. But if you look at Todd Bowles and Dan Campbell, 2 different energies, 2 different style of coaching. One is conservative, laid back, no rah-rah. Dan Campbell's the rah-rah guy, aggressive. Of course, both coaches have questionable decision-making skills, but it's worked out for the Lions being more aggressive versus the Bucs being too conservative, which has worked against them. So the advantage goes to the Lions right there. So the Lions are up 1-0 already. We're talking about the advantages from both teams' perspective. Second area I want to talk about is the quarterbacks. Jared Goff's career has been, he's had some highs, he has some lows. He has a lot of success. He's been productive in a certain style of offense. Baker Mayfield, we know his story. And I must say, based on facts and reality, Jared Goff has been the better quarterback. And you can talk about, he's been in a better situation. He was on a Sean McVay and blah, blah. It's just what it is. And I'm not a huge fan of Jared Goff. But as far as this game, the advantage goes to the Detroit Lions. So that's 2-0. We're just talking about going into the game. We're not talking about what's going to happen during the game. Going into the game, this is what I'm looking at. So you got Dan Campbell, Jared Goff. So they have the advantage at the coach and the quarterback perspective. Archie, boy, what's up, man? Dada, Darth Vader, big. Steve, what's up? Also, we're going to the next one. O-line. Lions O-line versus the Detroit D-line, and the Bucs O-line. The Bucs O-line versus the Detroit D-line. The Lions O-line versus the Bucs D-line. Who has the advantage there? Okay. The Bucs solid at tackle, but Luke Kadecki is out. Scully, he's number 77. Hasn't started the game in a long time. He's going to be at right tackle going against Aiden Hutchinson, the wiry Aiden Hutchinson. Marcus Davenport not playing. I think he has a groin injury. Okay. But Detroit has depth on their D-line. DJ Reader coming back. And then McNeil. So the Lions' run defense was, I believe, top 5 in NFL. So it's hard to run the ball on Alex Anzalone, but we're not talking about linebackers right now, but it's D-line. So the Bucs O-line, we know what Tristan Wirfs going to do. We know what Tristan Wirfs, we already know this. No duh. Okay? We already know. But the question is, everybody else. It's like a bag of potato chips. You know, the variety pack. You got the good chips, and then you got the nasty chips. And speaking of the Bucs O-line, as I dive into that part, going against the Detroit Lions D-line, I'm sorry, folks. In this game, I don't see the advantage. Because can the Bucs run the ball? Can the Bucs protect Baker Mayfield? Because he dodged a few sacks against the Commanders. And truth be told, going into this game, the interior O-line is still in question. Still not good enough yet. Now, Graham Barton is going to take him some time, but it's baptism by fire. Okay. That interior O-line did not do a good job run blocking at all. As a matter of fact, Graham Barton didn't grade out well. And that's understandable. He's a rookie. Cody Malch and Brent Bretson didn't grade out well. It's just being honest, folks. They didn't grade out well. And I'm not mad at Cody Barton because it's a part of him growing as a center. But remember, Cody Barton went from tackle to center. He played tackle at Duke for multiple years, and then you move him to center because of how because of how he tested. Now, is he an upgrade over Robert Hensley? It still remains to be seen. It's still too early to say he's an upgrade. I remember people talking about, oh, Cody Barton is an upgrade. And I was kind of one of them. I was kind of like, that's an upgrade. But we don't know yet, folks. I'm gonna pull back on that until otherwise. But I hate to say this, folks, due to the injury at right tackle and the poor play at the interior O-line. This is no disrespect to Cody. I mean Graham Barton. I said Cody Barton. Graham Barton. I'm sorry. Correction. Graham Barton. No disrespect to him. He didn't play well. They didn't run block well against the Commanders. Did you know? Graham Barton. My bad. Relax. Nocturnal. Relax. I got it. Cody Barton. I know I was thinking about Cody Moach. But Graham Barton, UCLA Carter. Did y'all know 36.7% of the Bucs runs last week was less than 1 yard? Number one in the NFL, the worst in the NFL last week. 36.7% of the runs was 1 yard or less. The worst in the NFL. Now remember, the O-line is upgraded according to some of you Bucs fans, right? Let me repeat this. 36% of the runs was not good. The worst in the NFL. Outside of the 31-yard run by Bucky Irvin, the Bucs averaged 2.7 yards a carry. 29 carries, 87 yards. Now remember, according to the Bucs fans, the run game is much improved going into the season. Well, I beg to differ. I'm going to wait on that as well. I told y'all about raising the bar and expectations over reality. The reality gonna always win, no matter what you say. The results gonna always trump how you feel. The Bucs O-line is much improved. Okay, well, I still haven't seen it yet. And I'm going to give it time, unlike some of you others, raising the bar so high and then to only be disappointed in it's only week 1. Now, I would like to see the running game get better, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to give the advantage to the Lions D-line over the Bucs O-line. Or better yet, I will give the advantage over the Lions O-line over the Bucs O-line because of health and the scheme and the talent. The Lions O-line is leaps and bounds better than the Bucs O-line. See, Tristan Wirfs don't account for the 4 other guys. You can't say because we got Tristan Wirfs, the Bucs O-line is better than the Lions D-line. Lions O-line. It's not true. We're talking about the entire O-line. The Bucs got to run the ball better. To keep the Lions at bay, we need to see more Bucky Irvin. Less Rachaad White running the ball. Catching the ball out of the backfield, great. But we need to see more Bucky Irvin. I need to see 15 carries from Bucky Irvin and about 8 targets passing-wise to Rachaad White. And hopefully Liam Cohen, he understands this right away. And don't wait too late. Because everybody can see Bucky Irvin is a better runner. It's pretty much very obvious. But with the injury to Luke Hideki and the question still in the running game, going into this game, I have to give the Lions the advantage there in the trenches, O-line and D-line. Because on the flip side, the Bucs D-line still got question marks, rushing the passer. And if you don't get to Jared Goff, he's going to carve you up. With the injuries in the secondary, the Bucs D-line going to have to take it to the next step. Okay? The Bucs D-line is going to have to help out the Bucs secondary big time. This is going to have to be one of the best games the Bucs D-line has played to this date. We got to see it. Enough of the talking and the Vita Veda off season and all this stuff. We need to see it this game. We need to see the Vita Vea that lost weight and got quicker in practice. He was just doing the damn thing against Graham Barton, doing this and doing swim moves. Well, we need to see that this game. Okay, we need to see Joe Tryon-Stoinka get some sacks against the Detroit Lions tackles. Penei Sewell and Taylor Decker. We need to see Yaya Dabe get more pressure. He had 5 pressures last week, but I want to see more from him as far as more moves. His best move is the inside rip. But where's the spin move? Where's the speed rush? We need to see more from Yaya Dabe than just bull rushing and ripping inside. Okay? Yaya Dabe is a good talent, but he needs to take it to the next step. He's a very strong as an ox. I like him. he was the guy, he was on my mock draft board. I picked him to go to the Bucs. It ain't worked out. But Yaya Dabe needs to step up against Penei Sewell and Taylor Decker. Joe Tryon-Stoinka got to step up. Got to get some sacks from the outside. And here's the thing about it. How much are you going to blitz Jared Goff? Because if you blitz him, you're going to leave your secondary to get eat up like food. So Todd Bowles is going to have to play this very carefully. Because if you blitz a lot, you are going to hurt your secondary and they're going to get shredded. Logan Hall, we got to see something from you. Got to see something from Logan Hall. We got to see something from him, man. What's going on with Logan Hall? He's back. Marquise Watts. Can we get some more Marquise Watts? Jose Ramirez. We got to get some pressure, man, whether y'all like it or not. If we don't get pressure from the Bucs D-line to Jared Goff, it's not going to be a fun day. But the advantage in the trenches go to the Lions. And it sucks but it's true. This is the reality of the situation going into the game. Now, during the game, the Bucs can turn it up a notch and be better that game. But going into the game, the Lions' trenches is better on both sides of the ball. They got a really good center. They got some good interior guards. They just a better team on the O-line and the D-line. So that's coach, quarterback, O-line, or trenches. So that's 3 advantages that the Lions have over the Bucs going into the game. Now, during the game, I don't know what's going to happen. But going into the game, the Lions already got 3 advantages. Running backs. Do I need to say more on that? That's 4 advantages the Lions got. Okay, Jabbar Gibbs and David Montgomery is leaps and bounds better than Rachaad White and Bucky Irvin. That's not even a debate. I ain't even got to go into details on that. And we got to contain those backs. We got to contain Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. So the Lions got the advantage at head coach, quarterback, trenches, and running back. So that's 4 areas they have the advantage in already. Going into the game, once again, I don't know what's going to happen during the game. But going into the game, this is what I see. Now, let's get to the receivers. The Bucs have the advantage there, obviously. Do I need to say more on that? Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Jalen McMillan, Trey Palmer. The Bucs have the clear advantage at receiver. Clear. Not even close. So that's 4-1. The Bucs got 1 advantage, and the Lions got 4. So right now it's 4-1. Okay? Tight end. The Lions got the advantage there. Sam Laporta, top 5 tight end, and Cade Otton, bottom 10. So that's 5 advantages to 1 advantage to the Bucs. Okay? Linebacker. Who has the advantage there? The Bucs got KJ Brett, Savassi Dennis, Levante, all-time great, Levante David. The Lions got Alex Anzalone, Jack Campbell. I'm going to give the linebacker advantage to the Bucs. So that's 5-2. You could say equal, but I'm going to give the advantage to the Bucs because I think the Bucs linebackers, to me, have the edge. So that's 5 advantages to the Lions, 2 advantages to the Bucs. Okay? Let's talk about secondaries. You got the Bucs secondary banged up, and then the Lions secondary fairly healthy. If the Bucs secondary was healthy going into this game, I would take the Bucs secondary. But being that the fact that all-pro safety Winfield Jr. is out, and Zion McCullough was in concussion protocol for the most of the week, and Josh Hayes and Bryce Hall, now you got Keenan Isaac out there, and the Lions got Carlton Davis and Teron Arnold, Rakenstraw and Kerry Joseph and Brian Branch. The Lions have the advantage in the secondary just because of the injuries to the Bucs secondary. Florida State about to lose, folks. So the Lions got 6 advantages to the Bucs 2 going into the game. And then if you want to talk about special teams, I'm going to give that to the Bucs. So that's 3. So the Lions have 6 advantages versus the Bucs 3 advantages going into the game. That I think the Lions are better in 6 areas versus the Bucs. Florida State about to lose, folks. Florida State about to start 0-3 for the 3rd time in school history. That is bad. DJ Ungale is terrible. Terrible. When are they going to bench that dude? Anyway, so I got the Lions 6 advantages to the Bucs 3 advantages. Now, where did I go wrong at? That's up for you to decide. Where did I go wrong at? But I got 6 advantages on the Lions side to the Bucs 3. The keys to this game, in my opinion, is as much as that we don't want to believe this, but I think the Bucs need to control the clock. Time of possession will be huge. And this is where the running game will help out Baker Mayfield. Because the objective is to keep the Lions offense off the field. Control the clock. Even you can control the clock through the pass, but at some point you're going to have to run the ball. I don't advise Baker Mayfield to be dropping back 35, 40, 45 times this game. I don't want to see that. Because remember, this is how football works. The more you throw the ball, the more opportunities you give the defense to intercept the ball, sack the ball, hurt your quarterback. This is why the running game is very important. Very important. Super important. There's no way around it. Time of possession is very important. People overlook and they want to see high scoring. And we most likely they're gonna have to outscore the Lions. But in a perfect scenario, the Bucs can control the clock with the passing game and run the ball effectively in certain spots. That's how you're going to beat the Lions. Because if you get out into a shootout with them, we don't have the bodies in the secondary to maintain that for 60 minutes. Because now you're putting these young guys in a bad situation. McCullough, Tyke Smith, Keenan Isaac. The veteran is Jamel Dean or Jordan Whitehead, but Jordan Whitehead is not known for his cover skills. Christian Eisen, like, you get what I'm saying? This is a very small secondary. Outside of Jamel Dean, it's very small. Florida State just lost. Again. That's bad. Ooh. I'm just saying, like, for the Lions to have the best chance to win, for the Bucs to have the best chance to win, the Bucs need to control the clock. That's the most important thing. Todd Bowles is going to have to make the right decisions in key moments. There will be key moments in this game that will decide the outcome of this game. And it's going to be very obvious, too. It's going to be very obvious on the key moments of the game. And Todd Bowles' coach management is not the best. How aggressive can Todd Bowles be in this game? It's only week 2. But the objective is to keep the Lions offense off the field to protect the secondary. Protect the secondary. Get to the quarterback. We need a lot of 3 and outs. The Bucs defense need to produce a lot of 3 and outs. Well, could Mike Norvell get fired? Okay. Todd Bowles had his work cut out for him. Let's be real. It ain't going to be pretty. And you know, Todd Bowles is a secondary guy, so he loves the secondary, but he loves the blitz. But Savassi Dennis going to play a big role in this game against Sam Laporta and Levante David. Look, KJ Britt, we're going to need him too. We're going to need KJ Britt to stop the run. Levante David on Sam Laporta, or they might put Savassi Dennis. I think we're going to see a lot of Savassi Dennis. Sam Laporta is really good. He just is. And remember, the Bucs gave up the most receptions and yards from a tight end in the NFL from last year. That's scary. So now you're going to think you're going to throw KJ Britt and Savassi Dennis on Sam Laporta. Okay. The Bucs might have to play a lot more zone than usual. And a lot less blitzing. Look, anything can happen during the game. Don't get it twisted. The game can go our way. But going into the game, you can just see where the problems can lie. Like, you can see where the problems can reside at. Like, literally. You can see where the problems will happen. Can the Bucs defense get the Lions out on third down? Can they get the Lions offense off the field on third downs? How many third downs will the Lions convert? Between the 20s, I think we can kind of understand the Todd Bowles defense. Between the 20s, the Bucs give up yards. They give up yards, folks. Limited. There's matchup problems all over the field for the Bucs because of injuries. Now, if anybody believe that the Bucs got somebody on the team, because think about it, if you put Levante David on Sam Laporta, great. But here's the problem. Then you take one of your guys away as far as playmakers that can help the defense. Because the Lions are so good at scheming. Ben Johnson, the OC, a top 5 OC, he's so good against Todd Bowles' defense, it's not even funny. Once again, how much can the Bucs blitz? On third down, like there will be some third and longs. The Lions will be in third and longs at some points. And then, third and longs, Todd Bowles love to blitz. But you got young guys out there that don't have the experience in certain situations. And the tricky part about the Lions is they can run and pass the ball in any situation. Right? The Lions can run at any point. They can run on 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. They've done it. There will be key moments for the Bucs defense to make a play, and there will be plays to be made. The question is, can the Bucs defense find a way to make those plays? That's the question. Are the Lions going to score every possession? No. But here's the thing. How many plays they run? How many plays can the Lions run? Because once you get past 65, then that means they controlling the time of possession. This goes back to what I was saying before. Can the Bucs offense help out the Bucs defense in controlling the clock? The Lions are going to play 2 high safety. Aaron Glenn to DC. He's going to play 2 high safety. He's going to minimize Baker Mayfield in the big plays. That's what he's going to try to do. Okay. Oh, LSU just do a pick 6. I'm just saying. The Bucs offense will have to help out the Bucs defense big time. And Todd Bowles is going to have to protect his secondary by minimizing the blitzing. He blitzed 39% last week, which was like second in the NFL. When you have injuries like that, that changes the complexion of your defense. It's going to be a tough game, folks. And then Jake Kamada and Chase McLaughlin is going to be a big deal. Special teams is going to have to help the Bucs out. This is going to be a cohesive effort on the entire team. And I'm talking about the Bucs are going to have to play one of their better games as a defense because of the injuries. And this is where coaching plays a big part as far as how are they going to manage this game? Because you got to think about, too, there is also 15 more games left after this. I'm just saying. Are we going to get anything from the tight ends this game? Are we going to get anything from the tight ends? Because Cade Otton was irrelevant last week, and we're going to need those tight ends, man. It comes in that ball control offense. As I wrap this up, let me ask y'all a question. Tell me what you gonna think is gonna happen to this game. What is the outcome? What are you thinking in your head as a Bucs fan on the outcome of this game? What needs to happen for the Bucs to win this game? Can the secondary hold up? Can the secondary hold up? Because in my opinion, I think the Bucs offense will be fine to a degree. I think they'll be fine to a certain degree. But as far as the shootout, the more I'm thinking about it, I would not recommend it. Time of possession, control the ball. Run the ball in good spots. Make it timely third downs. Eat the clock up. And to be honest with you, keep the game close because I don't. A shootout wouldn't be a good idea. A shootout wouldn't be a good idea. K. Dotton was irrelevant. We don't get anything from the tight end. Bottom 10 tight end. I don't care how you feel. Irrefutable facts. What has K. Dotton done? Is he even a threat? No, that is a fact. Nobody's looking at K. Dotton as, oh, we got a key on him like Sam Laporte and some other tight ends and Trey McBride and Dalton Kincaid. No. It is an irrefutable fact that K. Dotton is a bottom 10 tight end. No threat at all. And it will be useful to have him because if the Lions decide to take out the receivers by their cover 2 shell, then who else is going to beat you? Dump off to Rachaad White, Bucky Irvin, K. Dotton. Screen pass, jet sweeps. That's what we're going to see. Now, keep this in mind. Matthew Stafford had over 300 yards passing the ball. 300 yards passing the ball. Cooper Kupp had 14 catches, 110 yards. They spam, but here's the funny thing. When you dig into the numbers, 21 targets. 21 targets for Cooper Kupp. Now, what also the numbers tell you, even though it was 300 yards, also he had 49 attempts. 49 attempts. 300 yards with 49 attempts. And also the Rams didn't run the ball well due to injuries on the O-line. But keep that in mind, folks. When you dig into these numbers, and these numbers look good on surface, but when you dig into them numbers, it'll tell you what the deal is. 49 attempts, 300 something yards. That's a lot of attempts to get 300 yards. I'm just keeping it 100 with y'all. It'll be an all hands effort because if the Lions defensively keep everything in front and make the Bucs work down the field and tighten up in the red zone, then the other guys outside of Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, because Dan Campbell talked about this, he even said that what the Bucs are going to do is pretty similar to what the Rams are going to do. So they have an idea of how to play the Bucs offense, but Liam Cohen come from the Sean McVay tree. So the Lions just saw the Rams offense. How different is it going to be against the Bucs? It ain't going to be like no night and day difference. It's going to be very similar. So they know how to guard against the Rams offense. They know how to guard against it. They know how to, play against it. Aaron Glenn just saw it last week against Sean McVay. He saw the full Sean McVay offense. Now you're going to get a version of his offense again in week 2 and Liam Cohen with the Bucs offense. A lot of similar moves, a lot of motion, some jet sweeps, and all this stuff. Matter of fact, the Bucs was top 10 last week in motion, pre-snap motion. Let me repeat. The Rams and the Bucs were top 10 in pre-snap motion percentage last week. Okay? So the Bucs run a lot of pre-snap. Compared to Dave Canales, He was bottom 10 in pre-snap motion. So Liam Cohen has brought a lot of pre-snap motion into the Bucs offensive system. And the Lions defense just saw that last week against Sean McVay. And it's also what the pre-snap motion is. What does your eyes tell you? The Bucs going to have great play calling from Liam Cohen. Now, mind you, going from the Washington Commanders defense, which was bottom 5 with the worst secondary in the NFL last year, the Lions secondary was not good last year either, but they did make some upgrades. It's like the Lions and the Bucs defense is similar, right? Lions pass defense wasn't great. Bucs pass defense wasn't great last year, right? And then the Lions run defense was really good, and the Bucs run defense was really good. So they're similar defensively, right? They give up some yards. You know, that's what happens. It happens, right? But it doesn't change the fact, right? So the Lions, when they look at the Bucs film, they're going to see a lot of McVay in that offense. Chris Godwin is playing the Cooper Kupp role, okay? But Godwin is not even close to Cooper Kupp at all. He's never been in the same breath as Cooper Kupp. No disrespect to Chris Godwin. Not even in the same realm as far as the last 4 or 5 years, not even in the same breath, right? Never had the same, maybe it's more of an opportunity thing. But Cooper Kupp is a monster, right? But also, the Lions got away with some things because Puka Nacua was hurt. So I would love to see the Rams with Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp healthy. I think that's a major problem. Now, the Bucs do have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. So they do have 2 healthy receivers, which is great. Which is great that the Bucs got Chris Godwin and Mike Evans healthy. Healthy. That is the key. Healthy. Puka Nacua was hurt. Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp combination, probably top 10. Top 10 combination, right? So, which is good. But on the flip side, can the Bucs interior O-line and right tackle hold up for the whole game? Will Baker Mayfield have to throw the ball 35, 40, 45 times to be even in the same breath? To be in the game. You get what I'm saying? Because if this become a shootout, then it becomes attrition. Can the Bucs hold up for 60 minutes? Can the Bucs secondary make the stops? Because it's going to get real tough if you got to hold up for 60 minutes against the Lions offense. Well, good luck. The defense going to be tired. And the Lions can run the ball. So when it comes to the Bucs offense, it's going to have to be very balanced. To be honest with you, you don't want it to be one-sided. Even though it look like it's going to be one-sided, it looks like it's going to be heavy pass, which is fine because we already know that the Bucs' strength is passing. But the Bucs will have to try to run the ball effectively. Kimberly, what's up, baby girl? You get what I'm saying? Like, they're going to have to try to run the ball effectively. You can't abandon the run. Now, somebody said, I was reading an article, and Dave Canales abandoned the run quite early last year, quite a bit. Liam Cohen, it's only one game sample. The Bucs had 31 attempts running the ball. 24 of them came from the running backs. Good. I believe that between the running backs, it's going to need to be 25, 22 to 27 carries as far as the running back running the ball. And as far as Rachaad White, his contribution through the air, it's going to be effective. It needs to be effective. You get what I'm saying? Because the objective in this game is not to put your defense, in particular the secondary, in harm's way. Now remember, it's still early on Liam Cohen. It's very early. One game sample against a really bad defense. I mean, really bad defense. A lot of quarterbacks are going to have success against the Commanders' defense. It is what it is. That's a fact. Saw it last year. You care how you feel. So Baker Mayfield having that game against the Commanders' defense, in particular the secondary, was good. Confidence boosting. It's good for Baker Mayfield. It's good for Liam Cohen. Now, this Sunday, you're going against a better defense. Right? A better defense. Let's be honest. The Lions defense is better than the Commanders. They got some better players. They got better D-line, a better overall defense. But Liam Cohen can still call a great game. He can still call that type of game against the Lions. But once again, they need to win the turnover. They need to win the time of possession. That is very important for the Bucs. If they can control the clock, whether it's via run, via pass, make their timely third downs, because I watched the Rams and Lions game 3 times, trying to see what did the Lions do against Lions defense. What did they do against Sean McVay's offense? They kept everything in front. They kept everything in front. And the cornerback play is a lot better than last year. I watched the game 3 times, folks. Carlton Davis, say what you want about him. I'm not a huge fan of the guy, but he does make some plays here and there, but he can't catch worth a damn. Teron Arnold, pretty decent for a rookie. Kerry Joseph, Brian Branch, who he kind of reminds me of Winfield Jr. They actually moved him back to safety. And they got Roberson playing slot, and they moved Brian Branch back to safety. Brian Branch is a safety now, and looks like he's going to be a problem back there. I was watching the tape. He looked like he's a problem. Missouri got the victory over BC. I'm just saying. It's going to be a very interesting game. Will the Bucs attack Carlton Davis? And you already know Carlton Davis done told them about the Bucs, their tendencies and stuff like that. Carlton Davis done threw his little two pennies into the pot, telling Aaron Glenn, oh, Mike Evans. I guess he probably told Aaron Glenn, get in Mike Evans' face, get aggressive, knock him out of the game early, make him mad. But little do you know, Carlton Davis didn't have a good game last week. He was actually the worst guy in the secondary. He couldn't guard Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp, I don't know why they had Carlton Davis guard Cooper Kupp. Wouldn't work. But also, here's some underrated things about the Bucs that I can see that the Bucs having success in this game. Jalen McMillan, my guy. It would be really nice for him to have a big game early in the season. A future number 2 for the Bucs. I'm just saying. Bucky Irvin, it would be nice for him to get more carries. then Rachaad White. These are my two sleeper guys on offense. And if we can get anything out of the bottom 10 tight end, K. Dotton, it would be great. I mean, when I look at the Bucs tight end situation, I just be scratching my head. Are we going to get anything from that? Because guess what? What if the Detroit Lions take away Mike Evans? What if they just put a shell over him and say, you know what? You're going to beat me with Chris Godwin, Rachaad White, K. Dotton, Bucket Irvin, Jalen McMillan. Florida, man, what's up, man? I want everybody to understand, look, it's only week 2. Even if the Bucs lose, I'm not going to say it's a big deal because for me, I do want the Bucs to prove it to everybody that, you know, we're something to reckon with, right? But it's also week 2, so I'm not going to hold it over the Bucs' head, but I'm also going to take note of this too. But going into the game, as far as who I got winning, remember, I don't know what's going to happen during the game. But going into the game, looking at all the advantages and disadvantages, the injuries, looking at everything right in front of me, the Lions will win the game. Oh, see, Buckles like he negative. He picking the Lions to win. Okay, I'm going to pick the Bucs to go 17-0. Jesus Christ. Jesus freaking Christ. I'm not going to pick the Bucs in every game. Jesus, get over it. In a game like this with injuries in the secondary, right tackle, Aiden Hutchinson, the Lions have more advantages. It's just what it is. It's just right in your face. And it's like, I'm not mad at the Bucs. It's okay. It's 17 games and 15 more games after tomorrow. Just because I picked the Lions to win, that does not mean the Bucs are going to be terrible. Oh, see, he being negative because he picked the Lions. I got the Bucs winning despite all the injuries and the disadvantages. Oh, he just don't like the Bucs. That's not the case. Get over it. As a matter of fact, I don't care how you feel. I'm going to pick who I pick, and you pick who you pick. You pick who you pick, and I pick who I pick based on what I see. Hashtag, what does your eyes tell you? What is the facts going into the game? Because remember, when you're picking somebody, when you pick a team across the NFL, you're picking a team based on what you see going into the game. That's how you pick the winners, on your opinion and what you accumulate as far as what do you see going into the game. You can't pick a winner during the game. That defeats the purpose of picking a winner or a loser. Or I'm going to wait till the game starts and at halftime, I'm going to pick who's going to win the game. That's terrible. Okay? If you look at everybody who makes predictions, all these predictions are made before the fight happens, before the game starts, before the golf match happens. It's before the game. And you look at all the variables, the advantages, the disadvantages. You look at all that, and then you make your prediction, and then you stick on that and you ride with it. It's okay. Oh, man, he picking the Lions, man. I knew it. What you mean? I'm picking it based on what I'm seeing. I'm picking the Lions based on the advantages that they have. What's up, you wish? I'm just saying, like, I gave you the advantages 6-3. There's nothing wrong with losing this game, in my opinion. Even though I want the Bucs to win this type of game because it will be a big confidence boost going into the gauntlet after the Broncos. Because after the Broncos, it's basically 7 straight weeks of, man, you get punched in the face against teams that are just as good as the Bucs on paper or playoff teams. This is one of the big 7. You see my hashtag, right? Hashtag prove it. If you want to be taken serious beyond the Commanders and moving forward, you got to basically win these type of games. And if you don't win the game, look, it's 15 more games left. The Bucs can go 15-2 for those of you that got the Bucs winning so many games for whatever strange reason. which is weird. 15-2 and 14-3 and 13-4. I still don't understand that part, but you get what I'm saying? I'm not saying like all losses are okay and it's okay for them to lose, but at some point as a Bucs fan, you kind of got to want them to win these games. But I'm going off of going into the game, what is at stake, what the injuries, everything matters. Because here's the reality: the Bucs have injuries, and they have questions running the ball. They got injuries at right tackle. They got injuries in the secondary. They got questions running the ball. They got questions at tight end. They got questions in the interior still. And the Lions are just the better team. Just going into the game. Going into the game, they are a better team. Now, once again, I don't know what's going to happen during the game. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But hashtag, what does my eyes tell me going into the game? The Lions have the advantages. They have multiple advantages in key areas. They have the advantage in the trenches. They have the advantage at quarterback, and they have the advantage at coaching. They have the advantage of the running game. Like, where's the lie? If anybody can tell me where am I lying at, let me know it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but where do the Lions don't have the advantage? Because I said the Bucs got better linebackers, they got better receivers. You get what I'm saying? I gave the Bucs advantages in some areas. I just didn't give advantages in a lot of areas. And if it wasn't for injuries, I'm telling y'all, man, I would look at this game a lot different. But the injuries, it matters, man. There's no way around it. It's literally the reality of the situation. I can care less how you feel about what you think is going to happen. Oh, I think the Bucs going. That's what you think. But the reality is injuries. And if they lose this game, you can't get mad. Here's the other side of this. What I don't want to see as a Bucs fan on the road, you go to Detroit and you get your butt toe out the frame. I don't want to see the Bucs go up there and get toe out the frame 35-10. Because if they have a game like that, not saying it's going to happen, if they have a game, they go up there and get their butts whipped, boy, I'm going to have to shake my head. And I can't get too mad because it's week 2, but I'm also going to be disappointed to a degree as a fan. Because remember, if you're going to hold the Bucs to a high standard, top 5 GM, top 10 roster, blah, 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 then as that type of fan, I'm not that type of fan because I don't look at the game in feelings. But if the Bucs lose and your mentality is like that, then what's your excuse going to be? Because I don't want to hear this injury crap. Because I guarantee you, we're going to hear it. Oh, the Bucs were injured. Luke Kadecki, he was hurt. Kalijah Clancy was hurt. Antoine Winfield Jr. was hurt. Our secondary was hurt. But ain't you the fan that's saying top 10 roster and top 5 GM? Ain't you saying all this? So the roster situation don't matter. But see, I care as far as injuries do matter. Because you don't hear me saying top 10 roster, top 5. I don't say that. I literally look at the Bucs exactly for what they is in the reality of the situation. You can believe what you want to believe as a Bucs fan, but the reality going to always trump your feelings. There's a difference between being a fan and being realistic. And I say this going into the game. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the game. Because guess what? Just as easy as you can make a prediction about a game, everybody else can do that too. You can't get mad at somebody making a prediction based on what they see. Because if I see things this way and you see things that way, that does not mean it's all hell gonna break loose. I can care less about how you feel. That's why I always say one of my hashtags is facts over feelings. The fact of the matter is the Bucs gonna have to chip Aiden Hutchinson. They're gonna chip him. DJ Reader, Ollie McNeil, they're going to have to deal with those guys on the D-line. They're going to have to chip Aiden Hutchinson. Because if you watched Aiden Hutchinson last week going against a Sean McVay offense, which is basically what he's going to go against this week, he was messing the game up. He was messing the rhythm up. He was messing the rhythm up. It's just what it was. It was like he had like 5 or 6 pressures. He had like 4 quarterback hits. He had a sack. He just disrupted the game. He disrupted the game. And now you got Scully, who hasn't started at right tackle in forever. And you don't think they're going to have to use Rashad White and Bucky Irvin to chip him all day, which means you're going to have to keep maybe the tight end in sometimes. We might see 2-3-man routes because they have to block Aiden Hutchinson, max protect, because the interior didn't play well last week in pass protection. Right? What we do know, Aiden Hutchinson is a problem for the right tackle. I would feel a lot better if it was Luke Kadecki, but it's a backup tackle that's not really good. And we already got a left guard that came from one of the worst O-lines last year in Ben Bretson. Then we got a rookie center, and then we got a question mark at right guard. And we saw it last week with the pressures from the interior O-line, from Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen and company. They didn't run the ball well outside of that 31-yard run. And I'm not taking that away from Bucky Irvin. I'm just saying, I'm looking at the totality of the run game. It's like, man, you get what I'm saying? This just what it is. I'm just saying. What we do know is Aiden Hutchinson is going to be a problem. No matter how you try to cut the cake and, well, there's Scully's going to do something. No, man. That dude not good. Y'all know that. The Bucs are going to have the slide protection to the right. Lead Tristan Wirfs 1-on-1. I'm fine with that. Ain't nobody getting around him. Leave Tristan Wirfs 1-on-1 and slide protection right. Because the Lions are not a heavy blitzing team. They like to rush 4. Maybe they'll bring 5. Alex Anzalone, he's been playing like a bat out of hell. I watched him last week, and he was all over the damn place. Former Lions linebacker, by the way. The former Saints linebacker, Alex Anzalone. Then Jack Campbell, who he's solid. Then they got Rodriguez. They got Derek Barnes. So the Lions, they got some depth. They got depth on the D-line. They got depth at linebacker. They got a little depth at secondary, too. Their roster is pretty good. I watched the game. Once again, I watched this game 3 times. They got a young roster as well. The Bucs got a really young roster. But the Lions' young guys have more playing time than a lot of the Bucs roster as well, too. So here's the thought process as a Bucs fan going into the game. What do you want to see out of this game? Slide protection, right. Let Tristan Wirfs block 1-on-1. You got to deal with DJ Reader and Ollie McNeil. They're going to be a problem in the interior. Graham Barton is going to be fine, hopefully down the road. But remember, he played tackle, and they moved him to center, which low-key, he might be a better guard, to be honest with you. And I know deep down inside, I'm looking at the situation. I'm like, I hope Graham Barton works out at center. But also the low key part of me saying that I wish the Bucs just get a true center. Low key, get a true center. I would love that to happen at some point. Slide Graham Barton to the guard, low key. I'm not saying that Graham Barton might end up being great at center, but I'm just saying, low key, something telling me the Bucs need to just get a true center and put Graham Barton at guard, left guard in particular. I'm just saying. But hey, that's just wishful thinking. But I hope Graham Barton works out at center. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's going to be a fight, folks. Look, the Bucs ain't gonna lay down now. Don't get it twisted. But low key, the Bucs need a true center. I'm just saying. They love this taking a guy at a position and they move him over here to another position. I'm just kind of giving I'm just kind of foreshadowing this. I'm not saying that Graham Barton is going to be terrible at center. Look, I'm just kind of like, just one game, I'm like, okay, he'll get it out. Maybe middle of the season, he'll figure it out. But I'm just saying, it's early, but I'm just saying, he might be an elite center at some point, but it's going to take him a second there. You have to give Graham Barton some time. That's not get it twisted. Give him plenty of time because he played tackle for multiple years at Duke. And then to move that man to center, it's going to take time. But the Bucs, I think, in my opinion, low key, if it don't work out, they need to get a true center. Right? But it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a great game to watch. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun game to watch. No, low key, real talk. It'll probably, in my opinion, I think this will be the best game of the day. No, King Cook, no, he did not. He graded out pretty bad. The Bucs couldn't run the ball, man. And they gave up a lot of pressures up the middle. Interior. Graham Barton's going to be fine down the road. But right now, these first couple weeks, it's going to be rough, folks. It's going to be rough because he's got to figure out the center, the game speed. LSU beat South Carolina. They came back and beat them. It's going to take some time, but it's going to be a dogfight. The Bucs ain't going to lay down. Oh, Buckles, like he being negative. The Bucs ain't going to lay down. Okay? The Bucs are going to fight. They're going to be scrappy. They're going to fight. They're going to claw. They're going to punch back because of the offense. But at the end of the day, the Lions are just a better team overall. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing wrong with losing to the better team. It's okay. Exactly, Sal. See, they don't dig deep into the numbers. They just kind of look at the surface level. See, I knew they graded out bad. I knew that the interior O-line for the Bucs did not grade out well. I said that earlier in this video. But hey, people danced over it. 29 carries for 87 yards. Outside of the Bucky Irvin, one run for 31 yards. They didn't grade out well. They gave up multiple pressures. They couldn't run block. 36% of the runs that the Bucs had went for 1 yard or less. Worst in the NFL. Luckily, the Bucs passing game is top 10. Because look, every game, Baker Mayfield is not going to have 24 for 30, 289, 4 touchdowns every game. That's not how the NFL works. Even some of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, they don't have that type of game every week. There's going to be some games that it's just not going to look good. It just comes with the territory at football, right? But the interior O-line for the Bucs didn't grade out well, especially in the run game. And people don't realize that. And it's, look, Liam Cohen, it's only been 1 week. So I'm not tripping on that. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that gets better. The same thing I said last season. I'm not going to put a stake on it and put a stamp on it. Look, I want to see the Bucs get better in the run game, in particular the interior O-line. But it remains to be seen. I'm going to give them time until the middle of the season. I'm going to wait till the middle of the season to make a call on the Bucs running game. I'm going to give the Bucs running game time because of the Ben Bretzen and the Graham Barton, and then Cody Bowles. I look, at the end of this season, if he don't show me nothing, I'm gonna walk away from that. I'm going to give Cody Bowles one more season before I'm like, okay, man. Every game is not going to be glitz and glamour, 289 yards, 140 something passer rating, all that stuff. Every game, it doesn't work like that for Baker Mayfield. I've seen that. I've seen this throughout his career. He has games that, oh my gosh, Baker Mayfield, that's what I'm talking about. And then he has games like WTF. I'm just saying. It's only week 2, folks, so don't get too hard on yourself. If you raise the bar to 10, where's the room to grow? This is my point I'm trying to tell y'all. Some of y'all don't leave yourself no room to grow as a fan with the football team. Y'all expect them to just come out the gate, 8-8 out the gate. We really like that. We top 5 T, top 5 roster, top 5 GM, top 5 quarterback, top 5. It don't work like that. Give the team time to build itself up. New OC, left guard different, new center. Got some rookie sprinkling in there. You got to give the team a chance to grow. Jesus Christ. And then when they lose, you crying. I don't care about you crying. You cry, I'm going to laugh at you. I'm going to tell you that this season, if your expectation is super high and the Bucs lose, don't come crying to me. Do not come crying to me. I don't care about your feelings. Because you did that to yourself. If the Bucs lose some of these games that you wanted to win, don't come in the locker room crying because I'm going to call you out. You shouldn't have did that. You did that. You did that to yourself as a Bucs fan. Oh, the Bucs really like that. They all this and they this and that. 14-3. No. You did that. Well, because of injuries and everything, if the Bucs wasn't hurt, I don't care. Give this team a chance to grow. Jesus Christ. Now, if the Bucs was like 12-5 last year, 11-6, 13-4 last year, that's a different story. But they were 9-8. They got in because of a tiebreaker. 17-17 going into the season, the last 2 seasons. Like, give the team a chance to goddamn grow. They got some young guys, the second youngest roster in the NFL, and you really think that they're just going to blow the doors off of everybody. It don't work like that. They really like that. That's a new hashtag. Hashtag, they really like that. Come on, man. It's football. It's okay to be a fan. It's okay to be a fan. But Jesus Christ, some of you just are overboard. You literally forget about the reality of football, how it works, how week in and week out is tough for these guys. And as a fan base, you don't give yourself a chance to grow. Because how the Bucs look now is not how they're going to look in week 10. It's going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be the best game this weekend as far as NFL game. It's going to be the best game. because you got two teams that are vying for playoff position and also to go further than just winning the division. At the end of the day, both teams are I picked the Bucs to win the division, but hey, I'm negative. But I picked the Bucs to win the division and try to make some noise in the playoffs. The Lions and their fans, they got the Lions winning the division and making some noise in the playoffs. So you got two teams that are vying for a better position and to make more noise in the playoffs. Both teams, in my opinion, are going to win the division. But hey, I'm negative. I'm going to pick at that type of fan. I'm going to pick at those fans all season long. Hashtag, oh, you negative. But I got the Bucs winning the division. Okay. Yeah. So I got the Bucs losing this game. It's going to be tough due to the advantages that the Lions have. It's okay, folks. It's okay. It's okay. We got 15 games after the season. If the Bucs win this game, great. But remember, my prediction is before the game started. Not how the game is going to be played during the game. Not what's going to happen during the game. It's before the game. Some of you don't understand how that works. Oh, the Gators, man. Texas A&M just scored. The Gators down 10-0. Come on, man. I don't think Sunbelt Billy going to last, man. They're going to get blowed out. Texas A&M finna blow them out. Sunbelt Billy going to get fired before the season over with. Anyway. Shout out to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits. Oh, you negative. Just straight goofiness. I got the Bucs winning the division, but I'm negative. What the hell is that about? I think that's more about low-key hating. You know what I'm saying? Like low-key, like, go get your own channel if you don't like the channel. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, how the heck, that don't even make any sense. Like, I don't even think that's like more about football. I think that's just more personal, like some type of envy or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't make any sense. I'm negative and I got the Bucs winning the division. That don't make any sense. I think that's low-key like more about personal, like just coming at me as a person. Because that can't be about football. That can't be. You know what I'm saying? Like I told y'all, those type of fans will get laughed at every Sunday. Whether the Bucs win or lose, whether I'm right or wrong, it's just what it is. I'm going to pick at you. I'm going to troll you the whole season. That group of fans, I'm going to troll you. Oh, you negative. Yeah, sure. That's personal to me. Yeah, I love you, but I hate you. Like, what the hell? Then why do you watch the channel? Go to them other channels and get coddled. Go get your back rubbed and your head tapped. Go get caressed on those other Bucs channels. If you can't take the heat, go somewhere else. You know what I'm thinking about doing too? Those type of fans, I'm thinking about blocking them. Exactly, Nocturnal Bucs. Prediction means before an event takes place. They don't like the prediction. That's the problem. He picked the Lions to win. He's negative. I'm picking it before the game started. Jesus Christ. I'm going to start blocking you clowns. And I mean that. Pun intended. Go somewhere else and get coddled. I'm going to keep it 100. I'm not going to give you a bib and make you feel good. And I'm not going to do that over here. All them other platforms, they coddle you. They tap dance around the realness of the game because they don't want to lose their credential. They tap dance because they can't tell you the truth. Yeah, King Cook, yeah. Where my shooters at? I need my shooters back on point this year. Anytime you see those type of people come in the comment section talking reckless, look, I don't mind you talking and having fun and we talking football, but when you start trying to be extra with it, get rid of them. Get rid of them. Because I don't have time for Bucs fans like that. If the Bucs do good, I'm gonna talk good. I'm gonna tell you what they did good. I'm gonna highlight the good things, but I'm also gonna talk about what they didn't look good in. And if you don't like that part, go to those other channels. Go put your bib on and jump in their arms and get burped. Get burped over there on the other channels. Over here, I'm going to talk about everything, and I'm going to make predictions based on what I see going into the game before the game starts. If the outcome is different from my prediction, great. Meaning, if I got the Bucs losing and they win, that's great. I just made a prediction before the event started. That's all I did. So anyway, tell me what you think. What's going to happen during the game? It's going to be a fun game, folks. But I have the Lions winning because of multiple factors. And most importantly, because of the trenches. This game will be won through the trenches. And that's where the Lions have the biggest advantage at. Trenches. Anyway, subscribe to the channel. Like the channel. Share the videos. And don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify you on all new videos that's posted on this channel. With that being said, fire those cannons, seize the day, raise the flag. Hashtag prove it. Hashtag trenches matter. Hashtag don't get mad at me. I don't play the game. I just talk about it. Hashtag why? Hashtag what are we doing? Hashtag injuries. Damn. Hashtag facts over feelings. Hashtag probability over possibility. Hashtag Big 7. This is one of them, folks. Circle this game. Hashtag early test. Hashtag no excuses. Buckles are out. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay safe. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Don't get scared, folks. Peace out.